Hi everyone, this is week 5, Insights on Chapter 4 in the book A Good Night's Sleep. And this week the chapter was The Anatomy of Sleep. And I know it had a lot of really even confusing to me things in it, talking about glial cells and REM sleep and brain waves and the different cycles of sleep. But I guess some things that actually stuck out to me was the fact that a majority of us only get 10 minutes of direct sunlight per day. And what I learned in this chapter that, why it really matters is especially that time that you're looking for rapidly diminishing sunlight followed by darkness. So you're picking up on that sensory information as that sun goes down. You can watch it go down. Your eyes are sensing that, and then your brain's interpreting that, and that actually helps, and I probably circadian rhythms. I was never good at pronouncing things like that, but it helps your body basically understand that it's time to go to bed. So I guess the picture that stuck out to me and the quote that stuck out to me was on page 71. So it talks about the current, theory about sunlight and how the search for deep sleep is a lack of sunlight that disrupts our natural body clock. And the implied message is to get outside and get outdoors. So I guess that was one of my biggest takeaways from this chapter. Was that importance, and even making the time to, even as simple as it sounds, watch the sun go down. A lot of this chapter, I'm going to admit, even to me, was confusing when they talked about brain psychology and the different drug interactions, seasonal affective disorder, and SSRIs. But I think one of the things that I guess I look at and how to make sense of all this health information that's out there is if we know some of the behaviors that will help us, such as the exercise we've talked about, getting outside, limiting caffeine, and a lot of the things that are coming up in these chapters. We start to do some of those things and work on some of those things. I think the body responds in such a way that it'll sort things out. And I think working with your doctor to talk about the different drug interactions, and actually pharmacists are a really, really good resource on that, because they know the in-depth mechanism, like the book was talking about a little bit more. So you can kind of work with them a bit closer when it comes to managing some of these things, sleeping or preventing anxiety and depression. And, we know that, they all go hand in hand, right? So just some other resources and food for thought as we round out this chapter. So have a great discussion. We'll see you next week.